So this video is probably going to be in 4 parts. What I'm going to do is start off on this bed right here. This is where my watermelon was. The watermelon didn't do anything. I'm about to dig them up, put them in this bag, get it out to the trash. I've got pumpkins here that I planted about 2 weeks ago. And it had been raining, so I never got to put them out. So probably going to end up making 4 videos to get each of the 4 beds dug up and replanted. But starting with this bed here. So I did a terrible job in the very beginning of this. Hi, my name is Artieka and welcome to Life with Artieka. So in this video, like I kind of said in the very beginning, I have 4 garden beds plus a few things outside of the garden beds, and I am trying to get the garden turned over for fall. However, it is a struggle with 2 small kids, so I have to use the pockets of time that I have available. With today's video, I just took a little bit of time, pulled out the watermelons. I think I also got to some of the tomatoes and the cucumbers in this video as well. So just sit back, watch me tackle this garden. Hopefully, it's quick. Actual size, we got watermelon, so nothing from watermelon. So for me, weeding is one of the most annoying tasks because I don't really ever feel like I have the time to do it. In this bed, I have not properly weeded in 2 years, but I pulled up the entire watermelon vine, and then I went over and I grabbed a rake, and I was just going to take the rake to kind of go through and get up everything that was still there. It was just an easier method than me like getting down there, because I only had about 30 minutes, which is the time period that this video is, to get this done. My husband was grilling and trying to watch the kids in the house, and so I was just trying to task myself with getting this done without having to bring both kids outside and watch them in conjunction with me trying to do it, because that would have taken much longer. It's not that I don't want you here. It's something about the way you stare into my eyes. I know that I don't make things clear. I fall for you every time I try to resist. You can get away. I'm chase beach views and every day. All I wanna hear is an episode how we play. Sit right next to you. I try not to show how I feel about you, because we should I have to laugh because it was at this point in my garden, I guess, situation that I like saw some worms and I saw some eggs or some type of pest on the back of some leaves. So if you see me randomly looking down and inspecting leaves, I was like, what is this? Oh my God, I wish I had a fire pit to burn this stuff in, because some of this stuff literally was just covered in larvae or eggs of some type of pests that were waiting to hatch. I tried my best not to use too much, like too many different types of pesticides, but me not being able to get out and garden like I wanted to this summer was really, really difficult. So I'm going to try some different methods this fall, but I know we won't deal with as harsh of pests during the fall because it's about to get cold and most of these things won't live through that. So I think I said at the beginning of the video that I planted those pumpkins 2 weeks ago, but I'm pretty sure it was about a month ago. I think I did them the last week of July, first week of August, and I'm recording this on the Sunday of Labor Day weekend. So they have made it through all the rains that we got after the most recent hurricane, as well as a few other things. So they've just been sitting on my deck waiting. Some of them look like they're about to flower, so I'm really hoping that they are, because I am hoping for a few pumpkins. This was a gourd mix that I found at Walmart. I think it was, actually I don't want to lie and say what brand it was, but my daughter really, really likes pumpkins, and I'm not gonna buy a $2 pumpkin every time we go to the store. So I just grabbed that package of seeds for $2 and was like, I'll hope for the best. If I don't tell her that they're pumpkins, if I get pumpkins, it's a surprise. If I don't get pumpkins, nothing ventured, nothing gained, because I only spent like $1.98 on the package of seeds. The fertilizer that I'm using is one that I got from off of Amazon during my summer gardening. One of the garden channels that I follow posted that it was on sale, so I grabbed some. I'm not really sure if I like it or not, but it's working. I'm still learning fertilizer and what types of fertilizer each type of plant needs. So that's going to be something that I get deeper into with this fall garden, as well as try to figure out better with my spring garden. I know that gardening is just something that you get better at over time, and this is technically my second year gardening. My family has been gardening for about the last 5 years, but my husband was mostly taking the lead on it, because while I was pregnant, I did not like being outside in the heat. But it has slowly become a happy place for me, so I definitely try to get out there when I can. It's just harder with a toddler who is not yet walking, and so I just feel like I'm just making him be trapped in a playpen outside in the backyard, and I'd much rather him be able to roam, but we don't have a yard that's ready for him to crawl around. So until we get to that point or he gets to walking, we'll just have to find our pockets of time to get out in the garden and do what we need to do. So it was at this point that I realized that I had a little bit more time because I got all the pumpkins in, and I probably had like 10-15 minutes of time left outside. So I said, let me just go ahead and try to tackle these cucumbers. I have the cucumbers right now, or in this video, on 3 tomato cages. I couldn't come up with a better solution. I need to figure out what I am going to do to grow them next year. I'm thinking about getting a trellis that goes from bed to bed and planting maybe 3 different plants or 4 different plants, one at each end of the trellis, and letting them grow across and see how many cucumbers I get. Those 3 plants did yield me about 5 jars of pickles and then a few cucumbers that I gave away. So it wasn't a terrible harvest off of them, but I know that I could have gotten more had I done them a little bit differently. So at this point, I'm walking off to go get my shears and going to get that cut. So as I was pulling out these cucumber vines, I saw that they had taken over my okra, which wasn't producing anyways. That was only the 3rd okra that I had actually gotten this season. I pickled the first 2. The 3rd one looked like it had been eaten by something. So I went ahead and pulled that up in addition to getting the cucumber vines pulled up. I also had like some kale and some collard greens. I don't know why I planted kale and collard greens in the summer. I think I thought it was something else, and then when it started growing, I was like, I probably don't need this, but I left them in the ground. Of course, the aphids and the slugs seem to have gotten to them, so there was nothing there. You'll see me pull those up as well, but those vines were really what I was trying to get out because there was so much, like so many vines tangled together and wrapped around the trellises. So I'm sorry, not the trellises, the tomato cages. So I was just doing what I had to do to get those out. And another woman that can take your spot, my love. So don't give away my love. So don't give away my love. So don't give away. And another woman that can take your spot, my love. Now if I wrote you a love note and made you smile at every word I wrote, what would you do? Would that make you wanna change your scene and wanna be the one on my team? Tell me, would you? See, what's the point in waiting anymore? Cause girl, I've never been more sure that baby it's you. This ring here represents my heart and everything that you've been waiting for. Just say I do. Because I can see us holding hands, walking on the beach, our toes in the sand. I can see us on the countryside, sitting on the grassland side by side. You can be my baby, and then make you my lady. Girl, you amaze me, ain't gotta do nothing crazy. See, all I want you to do is be my love. So don't give away my love. So don't give away my love. So don't give away. And another woman that can take your spot, my love. So My husband had come outside right here, so I was showing him or talking to him about the okra, and I think I ended up showing him the vines or the roots on the cucumbers when I was pulling them out. So if you hear me randomly talking to someone, it's my husband, who's like a few feet behind the camera. He was checking on the sausages that he had on the grill and whatever other meats that he was grilling. I think it might have been potatoes. I don't know. He was grilling some stuff.
Where'd you go? Oh, you know how I've been living without you. Daydreaming on a cloud with you like horizon. With you tonight is on a island. Yeah. It's about time we're making up. Told you wasn't with me waking up. Now you never said I didn't miss your touch. I needed to distance myself from you. I was just in love with you. So come close, won't you? Won't you? Can I tell you something? What is what? You have this place on my take you there. Take you. Show you something, give you more than words. You have this place on my take you there. Take you there. Take you there. Won't you? Fill me up till my cup's overflowing. I'm so anxious just to feel the silence. It's so quiet, but I hear you saying to me, baby. It's about time we're making up time. The times you wasn't with me waking up. Now you never said I couldn't miss your touch. I needed to distance myself from you. I was just alone with you. Can I tell you something for what it is worth? We have it, that's all. Take you there, show you something, give you more than words. We have it, that's all. Take you there, take you there. Please be don't just be nothing you need that. I want you to give to me, yeah. Please be don't just be nothing you need that. I want you to give to me, yeah.
So on the second bed, I really didn't clear out anything but the cucumbers, and I harvested that one big bell pepper. I left all the other stuff that was, I take it back. I did pull out the, whatever the stuff I had. I think it was kale and collard greens. I left the other bell pepper plants and everything. And then this bed is my main bed. It has gone through the most, it seems. from this summer. I had already pulled out maybe 3 of the tomato plants. I had a lot of stuff planted in this bed, and I kind of learned my lesson with that. As you see, my zucchini was completely dead. I think it had a vine borer on top of getting those squash beetles. They had just taken it over and infected it. I have a ton of marigolds still being in that bed. So with the marigolds, I am going to try to take the actual flowers and let them dry out. But that wasn't a task that I was going to do for today because I want to save the seed. Three tomatoes. So at this point, I made the snap decision that I was going to harvest that entire basil plant. I got tomatoes in my freezer, and I got that bell pepper. I have some onion. I'm just going to go ahead and make a spaghetti sauce out of it. Hopefully, I remember to record it so that can also go on the channel. But I still have like 3 or 4 more basil plants in that actual bed. But I just decided that one was going to be taken in the house. And I'll figure out what I'm going to do with it in the next 24 hours. Probably less than that, because I'm thinking that I am going to dehydrate it or whatever. And then take that and make some type of dried basil with it so that I can store it and use it later on. But I am going to use some of it in the tomato sauce as well. Something got to them before I could, so I'm gonna throw these in the trash. I'm not composting yet, but hopefully next season I'll have a compost bin started.
wanna feel you, feel you. I want you around, around. I want you around, around,
These three also are not good. The whole thing only plan to get the pumpkins, get the watermelons up and get the pumpkins in. When I grab the cucumbers, they will just be on my house to look at. We get some other stuff started. Today I started some and then kept forgetting to turn on the lights because my timer isn't working anymore. But I think that it's still, well, actually I know that it's still warm enough for me to get them to germinate outdoors. So I think I'm just gonna let them germinate in my head. So I'm gonna get about 30 or so started today tomorrow and let them germinate on my head. And I'll just keep them watered out. Itching because I have no business coming out here in shorts. So I'm about to go in.